So here's my swag bag from my visit to the Leicester Vintage and Old Toy Shop. They very kindly gave me for gratis nout. And behind the bag is my first item, which is a Battle Beast. Now, I had been on the lookout for these for a little while because I had never seen one in the flesh since, I don't know, 1980 something when I first had them. And there's an obscure link with the Transformers here, which I've actually just had to look up because I always knew there was one, but I just wasn't quite clear on what it was. And basically, this guy is called Sledgehammer Elephan, because his left hand is a sledgehammer and he's an elephant. Yeah, there you go. Now, in theory, like the Transformers, they had a little patch that you could rub to reveal a symbol, which was either water or fire or wood, I think was the limit on these very early ones. And he's from quite early on in the series as a whole. Let me just try and get him a little bit better focus. So it would have been this one here. But it doesn't seem to be functional on him, unfortunately. I think it's long since had its day. So they had a sort of built-in weapon typically on this arm, and then on the other arms you can see they had an accessory weapon which he comes with, so he was probably sort of near kind of full whack. The Transformers link is that these toys were done by Hasbro and Takara back in the day, as were the original G1 Transformers. And this chap was also called Elephan. He was released in 1987. And there were toys called Beastformers. So he was also known as a Beastformer in some markets, whereas I knew him as a Battle Beast. And so there was a very loose connection to the Headmasters cartoon, in which the Headmasters travel to the planet Beast and get involved with two factions, of which he is one. I believe he was an Autobot affiliated creature, but basically that was it. That was the sum total of their affiliation with the Transformers universe, was that they were called Beastformers in one marketplace. We didn't get that linkage at all. I always just knew them as Battle Beasts. So that is literally as much as I can tell you about this chap. But he's the first time that I've actually been able to get hold of an example. First time I've seen an example in his shop. So I was quite pleased when I saw him, and thought he was sort of the best of the available bunch. So he will get a little place on a shelf somewhere in due course. And there's a gentleman at the toy shop whose thing I think is Battle Beasts, and so there may well be opportunities for me to get hold of a few more after the event, so to speak. But they were nice toys just to sort of have in your pocket. They're articulated on their shoulders, but not on their legs. But the legs are quite, but you shouldn't do that. The legs are quite squishy, so you can get a little bit of movement out of the legs, but it's the arms that actually sort of swing around. But I was told by Joe, who is the guru of all such knowledge, that you should be careful when buying them to make sure that their shoulder joints aren't too wobbly, because apparently that can be an issue. So they can sort of lose their arms basically if you're not careful, I think was his gist. But this one is pretty firm, so he should hold together well. So that was one of my pickups on the day, and I shall have a look at the rest for you just now. Cheers.